Area Code, brought to you by Mabati Rolling Mills.
Get CoverMax. It's more than just a roof. It's color that lasts with advanced color technology.
Lete mtadisa kujenga, chakupeleka kwa dila wa MRM.
Ukiweka, umeweka. CoverMax, a quality product from MRM.
It's an estate whose residents still hold on to a promise made to them 50 years ago.
Wakati ilikuja hapa, Kenyatta alikuja kufungua hii nyumba. Na akasema mahali tukikomboa hii nyumba, watu makuwe mananini, matalipa miaka kidogo, tupie hiyo nyumba.
An estate where living conditions were deplorable for the poorest of Africans.
Ni mapanya. Silikuwa ya mchanga. Na huko juu hawakuwa wanaweka nini? Mabati. Walikuwa wanaweka ile makaratasi zingine inakuwaga ya rami. Wanaweka, halafu wanawekelea bao.
Yet still an estate whose tide has turned over the years.
Iko na one bedroom, iko na one sitting room, na iko na jiko ndani, na iko na choo ndani, na iko na bafu ndani. Alafu nyuma ya hiyo nyumba kuna space ambazo watu wenye wanaishi hapo Flamingo Phase 2 wameweza kujenga extension. Nyumba kama room mbili za 14 by 14, which are big houses. Kama una watoto wako wanaishi kule, wanasomea kule. Hivyo ndio wakaweza, na hiyo ilikuwa inaenda watu wanajiweza.
We visit Flamingo Estate, a neighborhood which was named after Nakuru's most prized tourist attraction and whose residency has been tainted by poverty and crime just as it has beauty and attraction. This week's episode of Area Code takes you inside the largest estate owned by the Nakuru County government. This is an estate that is hard to miss whenever you visit Nakuru County. The story of Flamingo Estate is one that is characterized by both ups and downs. The neighborhood came into existence because of an urgent need to relocate a section of residents who lived in shanties near the railway line. When the railway reached Nakuru town in 1900, African settlement flocked the town, looking for menial jobs as portsmiths and load carriers. Because segregation was still high, African settlement was often deemed the worst. The then colonial government set aside 20 acres of land for the settlement of Africans in Nakuru town in an area that would later be known as Land Panya, a name that was derived mostly due to the unsanitary conditions that characterized the place, where bedbugs and rodents shared accommodation with the residents. Catherine Wanjiku was born in Land Panya more than 70 years ago. She recalls the harsh living conditions that her parents were put through during Kenya's quest to try and attain independence.
Ni mapanya. Silikuwa ya mchanga. Na huko juu hawakuwa wanaweka nini? Mabati. Walikuwa wanaweka ile makaratasi zingine inakuwaga ya rami. Wanaweka, halafu wanawekelea bao. Na ni laini hii ya maduka. Tukienda Rangaranga. Hiyo ya maduka yote mpaka Rangaranga hospitali. Hiyo hospitali ilijengwa kama si tuko huko.
More than 300 Africans lived in Land Panya, a place where electricity and water was unavailable. But with the colonial government realizing that African self-rule was fast approaching, pressure mounted to have better accommodation for the natives. In 1961, what would become Nakuru municipality's 5th government housing project was launched. It was an ambitious plan to build close to 500 housing units meant for the growing African population settling in Nakuru town. Phase 1 of construction would involve building of one-roomed housing units comprising of 4 houses situated in one block structure. Construction was done by British architects using labor from Asian artisans who labored day and night to have the houses completed before Kenya's Independence Day celebrations in December 1963. But because of challenges in funding, the project delayed, and phase 1 of the housing project would be launched later in April of 1964. The country's founding president, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, would oversee the allocation of the houses to its first residents who were moved to the area from Landpanya.
They were done in an organized old council days, you know, each house with its own maybe quarter acre and so on. And I must say it was actually the last of the organized developments by the council then. And thereafter, we've not had any.
Flamingo lijengwa na mkalasinga alikuwa naitwa Jigli, somebody Jigli, na mwindi moja alikuwa mzungu aliitwa Sea. Ndio walijenga Flamingo. Sababu waliona vile watu wa Landipanya wana shida.
Catherine Wanjiku's grandparents were among those allocated housing in the then new estate. With all new occupants of Flamingo Estate coming from Landpanya, the mud huts, which made up the informal settlement area, would eventually be destroyed.
Hizo nyumba za Landipanya zilikuwa zimejengwa na wazungu zamani sana, sababu kulikuwa na horse racing, kulikuwa na hizo farasi kwa Landipanya. Na ikaitwa Landipanya kwa sababu kulikuwa na panya kule. Sababu hizo nyumba zilikuwa zimejengwa na udongo na nini, kukawa na mapanya. Pia wale wakaaji wa huku walikuwa napika hizi illicit brews like chang'aa, buzaa. So kulikuwa na mambo mengi kama kwa sababu ya tabu nyingi.
But the troubles would not end there. Another problem soon emerged at Flamingo Estate after it was realized that the housing units could not accommodate all the residents from Landpanya. As a result, another housing project was launched, this time by the Kenyan government, to have similar housing structures built for those who missed out on a house in Flamingo Phase 1. These new houses would form what is now known as Kimathi Estate, which sits just next to the original Flamingo Estate. Structurally, the houses look the same, but the residents tell us that the rooms in Kimathi Estate are slightly bigger than those in Flamingo Estate.
Kimathi Estate looked a bit beautiful or smart somehow and a bit bigger, but the same block style. One block, 4 houses. Na zikapewa number. If it is A, B, C, D, each block had a A and B and C and D. Lakini block yenyewe inapewa namba kama number 1, number 2, mpaka number 700, kitu kama hiyo. Ndio sasa wakitaka kulipisha kama ni kwa sababu zilikuwa za council, unalipisha unajua block fulani, nyumba fulani jalipa hivyo. Sasa watu wakahamia Flamingo na wakaenda Kimathi. Watu wa Landipanya.
But Flamingo Estate was initially not meant to be named so. The initial plan by Kenya's first housing minister was to name the estate after Jomo Kenyatta. The proposal that would have resulted in naming the area as Kenyatta Estate was, however, declined by the then head of state, who preferred to have the estate named after the town's largest tourist attraction. The pink birds which characterize Lake Nakuru would have a neighborhood named after them. Flamingo Estate at the time was among the most prestigious in Nakuru, but the estate has now seemingly lost its luster.
When the government stopped investing in organized development of that nature, we've now had all this manner of mushrooming of estates and all that. And one of the greatest beauty of having organized estates is that it becomes easy now to provide the services, be it sewer, be it security. You have one single gate into maybe 50 homes. To have a section that is for trading and that kind of thing. So I think the lapse in planning in that respect has also led to mushrooming and a bit of disorganization.
After the break, we find out the reasons that led to the developing of Phase 2 of Flamingo Estate.
It was a big house and a big space. Sababu ukiangalia Flamingo Phase 2 mahali tumeishi iko na 1 bedroom, iko na 1 sitting room, na iko na jiko ndani, na iko na choo ndani, na iko na bafu ndani. Alafu nyuma hiyo nyumba kuna space.
We also highlight a quest by the residents to try and own these houses despite a pending court case.
Kwa hivyo tunalipanga hii nyumba tukijua iko wakati tutapewa hiyo nyumba. Sasa tunangoja nini hata ikashindwa ni nini.
This week's construction tip is also coming up when we return.
If, let's say, if you're building in an area where you're not sure of you staying there maybe in the next a decade or so because of one reason or another, it's something which, if a bell is rung, we can easily come and dismantle.
You are watching Area Code, brought to you by Mabati Rolling Mills.